So what you're telling me, the 16 complainants gave you money and you took that money and you actually gave that money to a third party to make the headstones.
This hearing starts with a plea for mercy, but the judge quickly zeroes in on one issue. If you're asking for a second chance, you have to be honest about what really happened.
All right, before we even go on the record, has she refunded all the money?
To my understanding, yes, Judge.
State, has she refunded all the money?
Based on the receipts we have, Judge, it does reflect that.
All right, so there's no outstanding funds that are due.
None that I'm aware of, Judge.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 005594 State versus Elena Marino. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Pedro K. Hicks for the defense.
And are you Ms. Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea. You're going open to the court. The charge is theft of property, $30,000 to $150,000. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine. You entered a plea of guilty on December 9th. And it was reset for PSI and for you to provide restitution. So counsel, has all restitution been paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Any objections to the PSI report, state or defense?
None, Your Honor.
None from the state, Your Honor.
Any objections to the court reviewing the PSI report?
No.
None, Your Honor.
All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, we have a few.
All right, you may proceed.
State calls Norma Cifuentes.
All right. And if you have your counsel, counsel, you can remain here, but if your client will step there. All right, if you'll come forward. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. You may proceed.
Okay. Ms. Miranda Sanchez, so please enter the statement.
Eleanor Sanchez.
Okay, and Ms. Sanchez, you understand why we're here today, right?
Yes, I do.
And you've been accused of taking a lot of people's money. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Was it your intention to permanently deprive these people of their money?
No,
Was it your intention to make their lives difficult?
no,
Was it your intention to bring them pain?
no,
Okay. Was it your intention to defraud them?
no,
Can you just briefly tell the court what happened?
yes.
Please proceed in your own words.
I've owned my business for recently about 6 years. I worked hard to maintain the integrity and the respect of it. I went through COVID. I've gone through that with some delays. I was also in a domestic abusive relationship that I decided to end.
And how did that affect what we're here for today?
It caused delays, caused me to not be able to work, caused me a lot of time in the station making reports on this person. It caused pain to the families that I did not want to happen. I tried to protect myself and everyone else surrounding me, like to do what I had to do to get out of that relationship. I mentioned to the families that I would temporarily close until I got done with this. My business was still moving on, but I was temporarily closing the office. With that, families thought that I wasn't gonna come through. Families thought that I just ran out and stole their money, which was not the case. I tried my best to maintain myself mentally, physically, financially, to go through everything, to make sure that I would deliver everything. I did a contract with everyone with the intention to deliver. I never wanted to take anything from them. My intention was to give them comfort, give them compassion and closure. I never meant to hurt anyone.
Now, it was brought up that during this time you bought a house or a car, is that true?
No,
So during this time, you were essentially able to, you were able to, well, let me back up a little bit here. You've made restitution in full to the individuals. Is that the case?
yes, I
Okay. And do you have remorse for what's happened?
do. I go through it every day. I'm heartbroken. I hurt these families. I put them through more pain than what they need to go through, and I'm terribly sorry for it. I never meant to hurt anyone. I just did what I thought was right to move on and to get out of that relationship, and for my safety and everyone else's. And if I could take it back, I would. I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen. I only meant to help them.
And you are aware that you are asking of this court to grant you community supervision. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Do you understand what goes into community supervision?
yes, I do.
Okay, so you understand that if you pick up anything like a DWI or anything called Class B misdemeanor or higher, you understand you're facing revocation by this court, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you understand that you're going to be supervised by the Adult County Probation Department,
Yes,
and you're going to be subject to all terms and conditions that this court will place on you. You understand that?
yes, I do.
Okay. And you're willing to go through with this?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
State?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Moreno, you stated you had to temporarily close your office. When did you do that?
I was trying to between May and June. Yes,
Of what year?
I believe 2023.
So May and June of 2023 is when you closed your business?
I didn't close the business. I closed the office. I had to relocate due to my ex harassing me.
So my question is, when
Yes.
did you close the business?
The business altogether after I was arrested. After I was arrested in 2024.
So would it surprise you to learn that on the date of your arrest, when you were interviewed by Detective Chamness, you told him you closed your business in December of 2023?
I don't recall saying that. I don't recall saying that.
So it wouldn't surprise you, you're just saying you didn't say it.
I don't recall saying that. I may have, I really don't recall saying that.
Okay, so how long have you been in the monument business, Ms. Moreno?
On my own, it would have been 6 years at that time.
Would it surprise you to learn you also told Detective Chamness you've been doing it on and off for about 10 years?
I have been, yes, I have, but on my own about that time, on and off, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then when did issues with your business begin?
Between 2020, around 2023,
That's when the issues began?
yes.
Okay, and why did you have issues with your business?
Because I had issues with my ex harassing me, threatening me, stalking me.
And
Right.
during that time, what were you able to do or not do?
I did the most that I could as far as working in my office. He would be waiting outside for me. He would be throwing items, breaking stones, breaking into my office. I was very fearful to be in my office. He would call my phone 500 times, 100 times. I had to just close that office down and look elsewhere so that I can continue business without the harassment or continuous calls that my ex was doing. There was times that families were trying to reach me, and it wasn't because I was ignoring them. It was because I was trying to avoid my ex from harassing me. I had to change my number. I never wanted to change my number. I held on to it for a long time because of the business. I didn't want to close the business. It's just been a big mess. And I'm sorry, and it's unfortunate that it's happened.
So you stated that we're in a domestic violence situation, correct?
Yes,
And you stated you were fearful to be at work. Did this mean you just stayed at home?
I stayed at home or tried to work elsewhere, from elsewhere.
So you didn't do any recreational activities during that time and you were scared to leave? Is that a fair statement to say?
I would come out whenever I could or try to visit family. Yes.
So your bank records would be consistent with showing you weren't just at home, like you told Detective Chamness when he interviewed you?
You can, they were for a lot of things.
Now, Ms. Marina, I want to ask you, when Detective Chamness was talking to you, he asked you generally about how the monument business works, but you were unwilling to explain that to him. Why?
Because different situations for different families on what they order, where they order from, and special details on it.
So why couldn't you tell him that?
Because I'm being interrogated without an attorney, and I felt that it would be best that I discuss it with an attorney.
But you didn't terminate the interview at that point.
I did
you?
not. I felt horrible about things, and I knew that things could get twisted and turned, and I didn't want that to happen.
I see. And then when did you begin working for Compassion Funeral Home?
I began working there maybe about last August.
Would it surprise you to learn that Mr. Reyes told me it was October of 2024?
That's about the time, yes, about that time, August, October.
So are your timelines skewed?
No, I was actually helping, from working in the office was October, but working as far as preparation, like office setup would be earlier, a little bit earlier.
So when did you begin working with Compassion Funeral Home?
Basically in the office in October.
And you're still doing that, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And you're still in contact with families who need monument services?
They need all kinds of services that deal with the cemetery business and funeral industry.
And you deal with money?
I deal with it to a certain extent.
But you take orders?
I take orders of all services.
Okay, so that includes handling funds sometimes?
Sometimes, yes.
And it includes marketing?
Yes, it does.
And filing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And filling and jewelry and preparing bodies, is that fair
Preparing,
statement?
I assist whatever is needed.
Right, okay. How can you assure this court that what you've done is not going to happen again?
It will not happen again. Prior to all of this, I have never had any issues before. I've had nothing but highly recommendations and referrals. As I mentioned before, it's unfortunate that it happened due to the events that were happening in my life. And past this, there has not been any issues at all, only but recommendations and service to the families.
So how do you reconcile that there's 16 complainants alleged that have had issues with you in your business?
At that time, I was growing in business. And it happened all of a sudden. There were some orders that I had ready for delivery. There were some orders that were in the middle, and there were some that I didn't get to. Most of them that were ready for delivery, they were rejected by the family. They did not want to accept some of the orders. I tried to communicate as much as I could going on through what I was going through, and they just demanded money back. I've been attacked in my office. I've been harassed. But I tried every effort to, as much as I could, to deliver. I've always had the intention of delivery. I've never expected this to happen. And if some of the families would have let me, I would have been able to deliver. There was other families that understood what I was going through. I was embarrassed to tell them what I was going through, and eventually I had to because of the delay. I could no longer hide that I'm in this horrible relationship trying to get out of, but I did have every intention to deliver every single one.
And some of the complainants, right, when you did come clean with your situation, some were unwilling to believe you, isn't that true?
Yes.
Do you understand why, though, if some of them have been waiting since 2022?
There have been there are different instances for different families. if you want me to go into detail, I can. If not, that's fine. They have every intention to feel and think and be hurt by all of this. I'm sorry for everything.
Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about what you're asking for from this court. You're asking for community supervision, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And you've been on community supervision before, right?
I have.
And each time you've been on community supervision, a subsequent motion to revoke has been filed, correct?
State for what reason?
So for your 2012 possession of a controlled substance, PG1 less than 1 gram, in 2014, a motion to revoke was filed, correct?
Yes.
And then in October of that year, you pled true to a new number 1 offense, is that true?
Yes.
Yes, right? Okay, and then what happened as the disposition of that?
They were closed. I was deferred.
Correct, so you were continued on probation, extended for 6 months, right?
Yes.
And you finished that probation. And then again, for your other offense, possession of controlled substance, PG1 less than 1 gram, you were put on deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes.
Concurrent with 2 other cases.
Yes.
You got a motion to revoke filed,
For
right?
what reason?
Will you tell me? It's your case.
Objection, Judge.
What's the legal objection?
Well, the legal objection is that she's asking her what it was. She doesn't recall. I don't.
I mean, she
Let me
needs to,
just tell me.
If you know, then please go ahead.
I mean, the question needs to
Sure.
be asked and answered.
Yes, ma'am. Believe one of them was a maybe non-payment or diluted way. I think that, and then a DWI.
Right, okay, and then you also had a possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, PG1 4 to 200 grams, correct?
That's the same one.
No, that's a different case.
Okay, yeah. There was one, I think that's the 1 gram at 1 4 to 200.
And what happened with that case?
Deferred.
Right, and you had a motion to revoke probation filed, right?
That was for the DWI that I picked up.
But you pled true to a number 2 violation, right? And went to
DWI.
inpatient?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then you completed it, correct?
Yes, I did.
So my point being, you've been placed on probation before, so why should the court do it again?
This was not intended to. This was events that happened that were out of my control that I tried to control with everything. I was at the police station almost every week. I have over 50 police reports on this person. My life was hell going through that, going through not being able to service these families, being able to not do what I said I was going to do. Try to be the woman of my word and complete an order, as I said, especially to these grieving families. There's no way that I would want to cause pain intentionally to these families.
Right, but it's your opinion that they were harassing you and calling you stuff.
It's not an opinion, but
That's
that's
what
what
you
action.
told the PSI
It
officer,
was
correct?
action. It was an opinion.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Any other questions?
Yes, Judge. During the time that your business was on hiatus, Ms. Moreno, did you have, I'm sorry, let me just.
Yes.
During the time that your business was in hiatus, did you have other customers other than the 16 complaining witnesses in this matter?
I did.
Okay. Do you know approximately how many you had? You don't recall? Okay. Were you able to fulfill their orders?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned that you were working for a new funeral home. Is that correct?
Yes. It is.
Okay. Do you own this funeral home?
No, I didn't.
Do you are you a supervisor?
I manage.
Okay. And when you say you manage, do you have a staff under you?
I have, yes, I have 1 staff member.
Okay, so you have 1 staff member who reports to you, and do you report to anybody?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And who would that be?
The owner.
The owner. Okay. And so everything, and the owner, and reporting to him, he oversees all your transactions. Do you we'll withdraw that question there. So the owner is aware of everything that is taking place in his own business.
Yes, we communicate very well with everything that goes on in the office.
Have you received any complaints from the owner of this funeral home?
No complaints.
Okay. Any complaints from any of the customers? Okay. Now you were asked about prior instances when you were on probation. You remember that?
Yes.
And each instance, the state brought up that you had a motion to interdictate enter an adjudication of guilt. Do you remember that? Okay, but in each case, though, you did finish your probation, am I correct? And you finished that successfully?
I think.
Okay, and that's pretty much all the questions I have past witness.
I have no further questions, Judge.
I have a few questions if there are no objections.
No objections, Judge.
All right. So I just have a few questions for you. Number one, when you received money from the complainants, how did you receive that money? Was it in check, cash?
There was some cash, check, and money orders.
When you received that money, did you order the headstones and pay for those headstones with that money? So you're saying the headstones have been paid for, you just waiting for them to come in?
They had been paid for. I had placed orders. I just,
So if the headstones have been paid for,
so the monument, there's several different
well,
monuments.
let me backtrack. So I'm going to take it a step at a time so that I can understand. Then if anyone else wants to follow up, they can. All right. So with the complainants, they came in, they paid you either cash, check, credit card, or whatever. Is that correct? And then are you telling the court that once they paid that, you placed the order for their
I
headstones?
placed it.
So are you telling me that the headstones have been paid for with the money the complainants gave you? And the issue is the third party, the person who's making the headstones, they didn't deliver. Is that what you're telling
For
me?
the majority of them, they were within the end of the clients, towards the end later. There was some delays. The monument company started from 3 to 6 months in delays, 6 to 12,
So this,
12 to 18.
I-
But yes, ma'am, I did.
I want to be sure that you're, so I can understand. So you're telling me the money that the complainants paid to you, you didn't use that money for your personal benefit. You put gave all of that money to whoever is making the headstones.
For the money that I received as commission, yes, I did use. For the money received for the headstone, I did use it for the headstone.
Right? No. So I just want to be clear, then everybody can come in with whatever questions they have. So what you're telling me, the 16 complainants gave you money, is that correct? And you took that money and you actually gave that money to a third party to make the headstones.
For the majority of.
No, I'm not talking about the majority. The complainants that are in court today,
Yes,
the money they paid you, you're telling the court that that money went to a third party to make the headstones. So you're telling me you didn't commit a theft?
no,
Because I mean, that's what we're here for theft. So what I'm being told, and both parties can correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm being told is that according to these charges, you took money for headstones, didn't pay for any headstones, you just took the money.
I don't.
All right, any follow-up questions?
Miss Moreno, when you would, essentially what your position was, is, would that be fair to say it's a sales-based position? Okay, so in other words, every time that you took money for a headstone, you would be paid a commission on that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if I think I understand what you're trying to tell the judge is that you kept the money that was due as your commission, but everything else you went ahead and you paid for the headstones. Is that your testimony before the court? Okay, past witness.
Ms. Marino, would it surprise you to learn that your bank records didn't reflect you ordering stones or supplies from a masonry?
Not everything was done through the bank. A lot of it was done hand delivery cash.
Do you maintain receipts for those?
I did, and I showed the attorney, and I forwarded to you.
Would it surprise you to learn I never received any documentation from you and or your attorney regarding that?
I have this.
That wasn't the question, Ms. Marino.
Yes, it's surprising.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, so this is what I'm finding surprising. She is here for theft. She is telling the court she didn't commit theft, and she's saying that she gave these, who are you saying you gave receipts to?
I showed.
I'm sorry, you whispered.
Judge, I'm happy to go through my files again and look for them.
All right, now here's my other question. Your current employer, did you tell them that you had these charges pending?
Yes, he was aware and gone through the motions of everything that was going.
All right. So as both parties, any other witnesses?
No, witnesses, Judge.
All right, as both parties are aware, I go on the stipulations that are presented to the court. So in reviewing the stipulations, the court found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. So if there is new evidence that people want to present to me at a later date, you're more than welcome to do that. You're more than welcome to file motions for new trial if there is more evidence. But she is here for a theft. And according to the stipulations I received, she committed a theft. And now she is telling the court she didn't commit a theft. So I'm going forward on the stipulations because that's the evidence that the court has. And if, other things are presented at a later date, then the court will consider those. All right, is there any closing argument?
Yes, Judge, there's closing argument.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we're asking you to deny Ms. Moreno's applications for deferred and presumably community supervision. The number of victims alleged in this case are those only alleged. The state opines there's probably more. It's not a mistake on her part. While she told this court that she didn't have the intent to defraud or harm these victims, it's exactly what she did. These complainants placed their trust and funds into the hands of her to give their loved ones the eternal recognition they deserved, and she failed to deliver. She had no intention of making these victims whole until October 14th, 2025, when this honorable court told her to come up with restitution. And then miraculously, in approximately 6 months, she came up with $51,000 in restitution. This amount was owed the entire time before this case was filed, and at no point did she deliver stones or make these victims whole via restitution. She's minimizing her guilt, Your Honor. Even the PSI report states that she's in the pre-contemplation stage. This is a level that shows resistance to rehabilitation and a tendency to blame external factors for her issues. We can see that here because she states that, well, it was the third party that didn't deliver. It was the situation I'm going through with my ex. And undoubtedly, while there is sympathy for victims of crime, that doesn't give her the right to victimize others and perpetuate this cycle. Ms. Moreno fails to accept personal responsibility for her actions and continue to engage in contracts with individuals, sort of like a Ponzi scheme. She's promising delivery, accepting money, getting money in, but there's no output except for commission that she gets to enjoy and spend. Your Honor, I don't think she's facing the consequences for her action, and I think it's surprising, or not surprising, actually. I think it's coincidental that she's able to come up with this restitution that was owed the entire time, now at a time that would allow the court to potentially grant her mercy for paying that restitution. She continues to victimize the community, as we've seen through her escalation of crime. First it began with drugs, and then DWI, and now she's doing thefts in the community. I don't think she's a proper applicant or would be willing to complete probation without getting a motion to revoke or without having significant issues. For these reasons, Judge, we'd ask you to deny her applications and sentence her to 8 years in the prison. In the alternative, if the court does grant her application, I would ask that the court impose a jail sanction and restrict her from working in home health care, in the monument business, or with the elderly.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I just quite simply put, Ms. Moreno has voluntarily appeared before this court. She has pled guilty to these charges. She has taken a lot of responsibility for this. She has also managed to come up with around $50,000 in restitution to give back to these people. She has explained her remorse to the court and to the people in this courtroom. She's not getting off easy in this matter by the court granting her supervision. She has been as the testimony has stated, she has been granted community supervision before. She knows what goes into it, and she knows it's not a get out of jail free card. That for the next however many years, the court goes ahead and grants her community supervision, she's going to be under a microscope. She understands that even just the slightest hiccup, she's looking at being sentenced to the maximum in this matter. She's very well aware of the circumstance, and nevertheless, she's gone ahead and she's put everything out here for the court to hear. She's answered the questions that the state has given, And again, Judge, she has gone through an awful lot on this, and she's remorseful. She's not backing down on the grief that these people have gone through. She understands that she has been the cause of it. And for that reason, she is ready to go ahead and face the court's decision. But we do ask that the court go ahead and make that decision, community supervision, allow her a chance to be able to continue her life, to move on past this part of her life. And hopefully this will give the people in this courtroom to some hopeful satisfaction to know that she's not going to be getting off of this scot-free. She is going to be under a microscope, and at the smallest instance that she violates her probation, she's going to be right back here before you, Judge. And Judge, I've been practicing before you for quite some time. I know that you pick up an MTR in this court, nothing is ever a guarantee, and she understands that. So with that said, Judge, we are asking that the court please grant her community supervision, and please allow her to be able to move on in this very tragic circumstance for not only her, but the people in this room as well.
Okay.
Is there something you wanted to say to the judge?
Your Honor, I'm terribly sorry for all the families that I've hurt.
But here's the thing. You say you're sorry for the families you hurt, but you told me you didn't commit a crime.
I accept full responsibility.
What are you accepting
I
responsibility
accept the
for?
responsibility that I took from this money, and I did not deliver product. I'm sorry. I'm not the person to do that to people. I'm here to help them through the process. I've never, ever had the intention to do that. I've not.
But do you still stand with your previous testimony that you received money from the complainants? You paid for the headstones and some third party just did not deliver on the headstones?
I stand by accepting the money and not delivering the stones, and some of it was delivered to them and some of them wasn't. I'm sorry, yeah,
No, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure things out because, as I said before, you're here on a theft case. So a theft case means that in this situation, that somebody is saying they paid you money for a service and that you didn't deliver that service. Now, if it's a situation where, oh, I gave the money to pay for these headstones to a third party, a company that everybody knows is, as we say, on the up and up, that they're a legitimate company, that you paid them that money, that you can show your attorney, show the state, hey, I paid this headstone company the money, and they are the ones who didn't deliver. And I'm working on getting the headstones from them because they've been paid.
I did.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? All right, any questions? I know everybody had closed, but she wanted to say.
No, George, I don't have any questions. I would just like to have one sentence of rebuttal to something defense said.
Yes.
Defense said that community supervision wouldn't be a get out of jail free card, so to speak, for Miss Marino. However, she told the PSI officer when asked, how does she think community supervision or deferred can help her? And her answer was blatantly, it will help keep me out of prison. So I think that functions as a get out of jail free card.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no employment in the funeral home industry, the home health care industry, or with minors, and the court will notate that the restitution has been paid in full. All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, and defense counsel, if there's other evidence that you wish to present to the court, you're more than welcome to present that to the court. And the court will consider it in the form of a motion for new trial if that's what you wish to file. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing
No.
from the defense.
Any impact statements or
Oh,
not?
I'm so sorry. Yes, sir. We do have 3 victims.
All right.
Judge, is it okay if she has some water? She has, her mouth is very,
Can I
very
change
dry.
yours to flags, please?
Oh, you'll have to speak to the deputies. I'm not in charge of any of that. And if she wants some water, she'll have to speak with the deputies.
In the end, the court denies community supervision and sends her to prison. Because repayment alone wasn't enough to outweigh the contradictions in her story. The judge made it clear remorse only matters if it comes with full accountability. Now the sentence reflects not just the loss, but the breach of trust behind it.
All right, your attorney said you haven't paid him.
I need, yeah, I'm having week to week right now. I just started a new job maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Well, here's the thing.
But we will do the best I can to get this,
One whisper.
get this case. I will fight this because it's not the way it's been.
Well, no, this is what I'm telling you.
It's not-
I know that sometimes people view attorneys differently. But if you were to work for an employer, and let's say you're working and you're mowing lawns or you're working as a cashier, and you're supposed to get paid on Friday, and they tell you, look, I'm living from paycheck to paycheck and I can't pay you on Friday. So your attorney wants to withdraw because he's stating that you're not fulfilling your contractual obligations. And your conversation with me tells me that you're not fulfilling your contractual obligations.
Hard times. I'm sorry. I wish I could right now. It's just.
No,
hard
but what I'm
times.
telling you is
I understand.
he's not working for free.
I know that, and
All right.
I'm expecting him either to,
So
I'm trying to get it done. I really am. I just needed more time. That's all I needed, more time.
he doesn't want to give you more
I
time.
understand.
All right, so he's withdrawing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 009319 State versus Rafael Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Arnulfo Ortiz, still for Mr. Rodriguez.
All right, defense has filed a motion to withdraw. Any objection, state? Any objections to the motion to withdraw?
No, Judge.
All right. Defense, and you're requesting to withdraw?
I am, Your Honor. I don't believe, I've lost confidence in my client's ability to fulfill the obligation.
All right, the motion to withdraw will be granted. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, are you going to be able to hire an attorney or do you need one appointed?
No, ma'am, I need time to hire an attorney, please. I can do it. I just started this new job. It's been week to week and I got my rent paid today, tomorrow. And things happen and but the way this case is, it's not the way it's said. And the guy.
Here's the thing. I don't want to get into the facts of your case. That's not my job, okay? Unless somebody makes it my job through a bench trial or something else.
Right.
Ms. Ferguson, recall this for April 27th. You'll need to come in with an attorney at that time. Your case has been pending since September.
Yeah, my first attorney had a stroke, so that's where everything changed on me.
I'm just telling you, your case has been pending since September.
Yes, ma'am.
So. Norma, give him a reset. Thank you. Hi, so what's our updates?
The update is disappointing. He has not been accepted to felony mental health court. I got that news a couple of days ago. I wasn't given a reason as to exactly why, but that was after staffing with the chief, that was the result that I was told. I agree with the frustration in trying to seek help for my client in the best possible way for the mental health issues. But at this point, I don't know if we've exhausted options or what
Well, I don't know. This is supposed to be Military City, USA, is it not? And this is how they treat people in the military. I don't understand why he wasn't accepted in Veterans Treatment Court when people were saying he was a good candidate for Veterans Treatment Court. And if we are going to move where the complainants are in charge of whether somebody gets into a program, then you should be putting complainants on the jury panel. I mean, there's a reason why complainants are not allowed to decide how cases are resolved because they will be deemed biased. And Lauren, I know you were not a part of this. It's some other higher powers.
I don't know the reasons either, but my client is, the facts are, they're facts and they're allegations at this point. And I think that, I don't know that, those allegations are all taken as completely true against my client, which I don't believe is fair. And I don't know if that's what the mental health, if that's what their basis is on. I believe they're judging the nature of the crime and just assuming everything is true, and there is a lot more beyond the surface.
All right, well, part of my understanding with, it appears to be, with treatment courts, at least some treatment courts, that if a complainant says they don't want them in a treatment court, they don't get to be in a treatment court.
Got it.
That's the way
More simple.
people are moving.
Mhm.
So what's gonna happen with this case?
So we are not, if we've exhausted all of the options for treatment courts for my client, we are prepared to file a motion to quash the indictment and set a hearing on that. The indictment does track the language of the statute. However, it does fail to state any sufficient facts or anything regarding the culpable mental state of knowingly in the case. And we'd like to file a motion to quash on that basis and set for hearing.
All right, so when, state, when will y'all be ready for a hearing on the motion to quash? Okay, so when are you going to?
I plan to file it today. And I mean, we could argue next week is fine with me. How about the 9th?
State, would you be prepared, if they file the motion today, would you waive notice and be prepared on the 9th, or do you need more time? Okay, so what we'll do then is, Norma? Then that will be the end of April.
Okay.
Can you put it for the end of April? All right, so we'll hear it on April 30th.
Just a question, does my client need to be here for the legal arguments or?
If there's no objection from the state, he can appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you at the end of April.
Sure, thank
Thanks.
you. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 015508 State versus Devin Orozco. Can I have parties announced?
Linda Corley for Mr. Roscoe.
And are you Mr. Orozco? Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Judge, I have signed the discovery acknowledgement and I've received everything on the attached index. I'm not aware of any missing discovery and I have gone over all of it with my client.
All right. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Orozco, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, state moves to waive count 1 and proceed solely on count 2 of the indictment.
No objections.
All right, Mr. Orozco, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it, sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the state is proceeding on count 2, where your charge is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 1 to 4 grams. Any objection to the court removing the manufacturing delivery for that from the admonishments?
No objections from defense.
Because otherwise it would be confusing, probably on the judgment. All right, the range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Orozco, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at a $1,200 fine. This will run concurrent with 2026 CC 00045. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's a $1,200 fine. There's to be restitution of $260 to the Bexar County Crime Lab. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution,
Yes.
the DOEP course, life skill course, MRT, and regular random UAs. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
No objections, Your Honor.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have
I
a right to
apologize,
jury
Judge.
trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing the same, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would just request that you follow the plea agreement. He is working. Has been doing very well. He doesn't make a lot of money, Judge, so if you would consider probating any of his fine and giving him lesser probation fees, that would be helpful. He does have to pay for all the classes, and he does have quite a few classes that they have requested that he take.
All right, what do you do for a living?
I currently just graduated barber school, Your Honor. So my dad owns a barber business, and just graduated, and I'm going into the business for my father.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
That's a good thing. You're not ready yet. And if you're drug tested today, what will the results be?
Negative, no.
All right, when's the last time you used?
I used to be a user, but it's been about 3 months since I've been sober.
All right, and how are you maintaining your sobriety?
I'm just really having a connection. I just found Jesus Christ and making sure that I stay level-headed and just on the straight edge.
And who do you live with?
I live with my dad and my mother, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court will sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, or you can do the patch. $1,200 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 45 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. $260 restitution to the Bexar County Crime Lab. This will run concurrent with 2026 CC 00045. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. For every sober support meeting completed, an hour will be deducted. There's to be the DLEP course, 50 hours will be deducted for completing that. There is to be the MRT course. 50 hours will be deducted for completing of the MRT course. And the court is going to order the life skills course, and 50 hours will be deducted for that. And there's to be field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. Probation, is there anything else? And there's to be no possession of firearms. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Stay in contact with probation, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. He recognized he had an issue then. He had a tough time in his life. As you can see, he's cleaned up. He's got a job hopefully lined up as soon as he gets through with this here. He has a job. And he wants to do what he can to get this probation done and deferred as quickly as possible. He's done all of his, he's doing AA and all of that stuff, Judge, as you can see, and completed it.
So are you still with Stone River Recovery?
Actually, I was an inpatient there.
Mhm.
I completed the program that was my certificate. I also went to a sober living for 31 days, 2 times a week UAs. I have the letter from the director right there. I am a fellow member of the community. I get AA every day, and got well over 120 hours of community service already accumulated through them. I am employed. I also got a job at VIA. I was supposed to start the papers and I was supposed to start January 28th, but they said I can't have any open cases right now. She's going to take care of that, and they'll reopen my file as soon as I'm done with this. I was going to be a bus operator.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a good program. I've learned a lot about that program. So the person who was with you, Crystal, what's your relationship with that person?
That's my fiance.
So is she in recovery?
She's same as me, done everything. We're both members of the AA community. She's working, employed. She actually chairs some of the AAs.
All right. Do you have any children?
She has 3 and I have 1.
All right. And are the children living with you all?
Not at the moment.
I'm sorry.
Not at the moment. They'll be with us in a few months shortly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
But not at the moment. They will be with us in a few months shortly. My child's mother, when I was in rehab, actually had a testing report and working at 10 in rehab. And she right now got custody. We go to see twice a week, and move on forward with that. Her kids are with her grandmother right now, because we're in order to have them with us right now, picking up house.
All right. Is there Child Protective Services involved at all? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs or the patch, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Take in consideration 2026 CR 00479. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, 20 hours of community service will be deemed satisfied. The remaining community service hours, I'll deduct 1 hour per sober support meeting completed. And there's to be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. And if TAP asks for inpatient treatment, start with supportive outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. I'm proud that you're doing everything, that you're supposed to be doing, okay? All right, keep up the good work. Oh, you too. All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 002384, State versus Lorenzo Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Ready for the state? Christopher Simpkins for the defense.
And are you Mr. Garcia? Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge, and I signed the certification.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Do you, Your Honor?
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Mr. Garcia, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial. You have a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call them the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
No, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
All right. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, he is.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and reentry. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your
According to the plea, punishment is assessed under 1244 to 103 days in the Bexar County Jail. The state will take in consideration 2026 CR 002385. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
It is, Judge.
State?
It is, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, any such motions?
There were none, Judge.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Judge, you have to say exhibit number 1, including all. We have no objections.
All right, and state, do you have the dismissal?
Yes.
Okay. All right, state, you may be excused. Mr. Garcia, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial and a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we just asked you to follow the plea bargain.
All right, the court will sentence you to 103 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no residing in households with minors. Court will take in consideration 2026 CR 002385. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Sure.
Because it's plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Make better decisions, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Judge, that is.
Yes. Court is calling 2025 CR 012326 State versus Austin Rodriguez. Can I have parties announce? And also 2025 CR 012329. And for the defense?
Good morning, Judge Alfonso Cabañas for the defendant, Austin Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so did he enter a plea only on the unlawful possession?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Our cases to BTA.
Okay. So according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State is opposed to the application, and they will take in consideration 2025 CR 012326. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation? Any objections?
We have, Your Honor, there's no objections from defense counsel on the PSI or the TAP evaluation.
All right, state you're opposed. Any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Judge, my client would like something to say to the court, but as far as any additional witnesses, none.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you're gonna need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and I can hear.
Okay.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rodriguez, you know why you're here this morning, correct? We're asking the court to grant your application for probation, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the court knows and you are aware that you previously have been given deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes, sir.
And those two deferreds had been revoked.
Yes, sir.
Please tell the court, Mr. Rodriguez, why this time your application and your desire to be in probation is different.
A long time ago. I didn't understand two things that I do now, and that's that time is short. Two of the most important people in my life passed away. One very recently. The audience right now is my mother and my sister. My mom doesn't depend on me so much, but she really needs my help. I had a lot of momentum going before I came here. I don't want to lose that momentum. I'm willing to take any number of years of probation, keep me out there, while the for so I can keep momentum that I have going. Because I'm 36 years old, I'm not getting any younger. The people that truly care about me are starting to fall off. And I know that I messed up twice some years ago. But it's like every year it's a little faster, and I don't have so much time to live with them. I'd like to do it out there.
Mr. Rodriguez, in reviewing the PSI, you are aware that should the court grant your application for probation, probation has recommended you do several outpatient treatment programs. Right, and it's my understanding that you've agreed to do those programs?
Absolutely.
Okay. You also asked the court that you'd be open to living on probation, a lengthy probation. You are aware that the maximum term that the judge could impose for probation is 10 years.
Sure.
Okay, and finally, also to make you aware that if court were to grant your application, any violation, however slight, would, make you place you under arrest and then bring you here for
Absolutely.
okay. You could be sentenced to prison. Okay. Now, as far as helping your mother and your sister who are here, tell the court a little bit more about why they need your help specifically.
So one of the people that passed away recently was my mom's son. She stayed at home with my sister. She's autistic and epileptic. She has intelligent maybe a 5-year-old. She's there by herself sometimes. When I was there, it was a lot different. Actually, right before I came here, it was New Year's Eve. Somebody set a firework off in the backyard, off the yard front. And when I went downstairs to get some water, since we're looking out the window and all the smoke, just oblivious to what was really going on, had I not been there, would have been through the fire. Stuff like that scares me every day. There's a lot on my mother. She does a lot. Can't explain that short amount of time.
That is your mom's residence where you would reside should the court grant your application?
Probably not, but I will be there, frequently to check up on them, make sure everything will be okay. I think my sister, there's no room for me there, but, I wouldn't be for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, but you already have a place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. In addition to your mom and your sister, is there anybody else who depends on you? Or any other family members that depend on you?
As a dependent, no, but, as family, sure.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, state.
Yes, I have very brief. I'm Florida because my name's Lorna Espinoza, I'm a prosecutor for the state. You stated you probably would not reside with your mother. Will you be living alone?
No,
No, who will you be living with?
my girlfriend.
Are there children in that home? Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
I operate machinery for the Cherokee owns and operates the tractor,
How long have you been doing that?
since 2018 or so.
And you're aware that you're here because of choices you made. Given that we're here, you chose to operate that motor vehicle on off the state highway. Yeah, so you know that's a violation of the law, and you made that choice, right? And when you were frisked by the officers, they felt a lump in your pocket, correct? And it turned out to be suspected drugs, right? And then they located a firearm in the center console. Whose firearm is that?
I mean, it was given to me by the guy who owns the scrapyard, but I don't know who owns it.
Okay, you didn't think that was suspicious, you didn't know who the owner was, but you chose to possess the firearm, you know?
If you neglected to tell me after pushing him to know, which I didn't, maybe, but no, I didn't.
Did you ever become aware that the firearm was stolen?
No, I didn't become aware of the firearm belonged to somebody who had gotten in trouble for a bunch of firearms. This was later on after I'd already got.
No further questions.
All right, any other
Nothing
questions?
further, Your Honor.
All right, any objections to the court asking questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So when you were revoked the first time for a possession case, do you remember why you were revoked?
28, and I didn't really care what was going on. That was whenever I lost the first person that I cared about. Just negligence, was young and dumb.
No, I mean, what allegations? Well, usually when they revoke you, they'll say, we're revoking you because you didn't report, because you're testing positive or something.
I was so lost in this Australian house.
All right, and then you had so that was a possession case, and an unauthorized use case. I'm assuming since they have the same dates that those will probably ran concurrently. All right, and then in 2021, you had the evading arrest detention with a vehicle. All right, so on that one, I'm assuming there was no probation, you were just sentenced.
That one I did because I had literally 2 weeks left of parole. I just freaked out. I go to court for it.
All right, so this is what I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
I've been a defense attorney. Sometimes I'll see things, police pulling somebody over just because they don't have a license plate or a traffic offense. Like officers are allowed to pull people over, right? Even if they're just pulling you over because they want to see other things, right? But the issue with you is they pull you over for no license plate in the front. Then it turns out you're driving without a license. Then you have a gun in the vehicle. and then you have drugs. Those are my issues. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation. I understand the other issues you have that you're saying that's going on in your life, but I just don't think you would be a good candidate. So I'm going to find you guilty. What I can tell you is, well, before I say this, let me hear the parties argue for amount of time.
Mr. Rodriguez has already done a trip for 3 years, he did 9 months in state jail in 2 years. It seems that those amounts are not enough to prevent and deter Mr. Rodriguez from continuing on his choices in this course of action. So we just have to.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, I would ask for the minimum of 2 years in TDC. It's evident from his testimony that Mr. Rodriguez has admitted guilt to this offense. He is taking responsibility. He also let the court know through answering to the state's questions that he made a poor choice that evening. He didn't minimize it or he didn't withdraw from responsibility. He did say that he made a poor choice, and obviously he's regretting it because he knows that his time with family gets shorter and shorter as the years go by. I have talked to his girlfriend. I can confirm, and also the PSI, that he does have very much family support. And so I don't think that once he gets out of prison, I don't believe that he'll fall or make poor choices anymore. I think he's obviously learned his lesson. So I'm asking the court to sentence him to 2 years in TDC.
All right, this court is going to do, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money run concurrent, take in consideration 2025 CR 012326. I'll give you credit for any time served. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. I don't have jurisdiction to place you in that program, but it will show on the judgment that I'm requesting that you be placed in the therapeutic community. You'll have to request it as well. There's to be no residing in households with minors, and the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. And of course, give you the credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, make sure you make better decisions, because if you come back, you're potentially looking at being charged as a habitual, which would mean your minimum would be 25, okay?
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
If you were to be able to reconsider my probation, and I said that I was willing to take the max if I messed up even more, so you reconsider.
No, and I will tell you, I won't be the judge who would be deciding that if you were to mess up. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, counsel.
The court denies probation and sends him to prison, making one thing very clear. Family support and regret were not enough to outweigh the pattern in front of her. With drugs, a firearm, and prior revoked cases, the risk was just too high. Now the sentence reflects a judge who saw this as more than just another mistake.